Here are my top 10 best Korean snacks. This was such a hard list to make because I reviewed so many delicious snacks, but if I were to pick my top 10, these would be it. Number 10, we have this custard cake. This is one of the most addictive Korean pastries that you'll ever have. It's a soft sponge cake that's filled with a velvety custard cream that's both sweet and super smooth. I used to eat this a lot when I was young and they still taste pretty great. I highly recommend eating this with some coffee or tea. Number 9, we have this tiramisu home run balls. The original home run balls has such a big nostalgic hold on me, but I think these tiramisu home run balls might be a little bit better. These fluffy, crispy puff balls are filled with a smooth and creamy tiramisu chocolate that has a hint of coffee taste. They're super delicious and addictive. Number 8, we have this bulgogi flavored busha busha. This is such a tasty snack. It looks like a ramen pack, but you actually add in the powder and break up the dry noodles. Hence the name busha busha, which literally translates to break it in Korean. This snack is crunchy and has a savory beef flavor that's super delicious. If you like Korean noodles and Korean snacks, then I highly recommend this. Number 7, we have this potato snack cream and cheese flavor. This potato chip snack is super delicious. They're creamy, a little bit sweet, and have one of the most satisfying crunchy texture of all Korean snacks. I could eat 2 of these bags in a row and never get sick of them. They're so good and delicious. Number 6, we have oh yes. This is another addictive Korean snack that you have to try. It's basically a mini cake that's filled with a layer of chocolate sandwiched between 2 fluffy sponge cakes and coated with a chocolate glaze. Once you take a bite, it tastes like a slice of chocolate heaven. Unlike other Korean mini cakes, these aren't that dry, so I can eat them over and over again. These are honestly better than choco pie in my opinion. Number 5, we have honey butter chips. These are honestly some of the best tasting chips out there. They're sweet, light, creamy, and savory, and just melt in your mouth like butter. The original is a 10 out of 10 in my book, but the cheese flavor is also really good as well. I definitely recommend picking these up if you like potato chips. Number 4, we have the Starlight Pang Pang almonds. So far, I love all the flavor almonds, but this one is super unique and tasty. These almonds are coated with a soda flavored cream and actual Pop Rocks, and when you take a bite, they explode in your mouth with delicious creamy fizzy flavors. They taste like a mix between yogurt and soda. You get a sensory pleasure from the popping sound of the Pop Rocks and the crunchy texture of the almonds. This snack is really tasty and I highly recommend it. Number 3, we have Mongshe. This may look like a choco pie, but in my opinion, it's a lot better. The outer shell is covered with a smooth chocolate layer, while the inside is filled with a fresh milky cream. Once you take a bite, the chocolate cream flavors just explode in your mouth. I can eat this over and over again and not get sick of it. This is like Choco Pie 2.0. Number 2, we have this plum candy. This is one of the tastiest candies that you'll ever have. It tastes sweet, floral, and nectary, almost like the essence of plum, and it has a very intense fruity flavor without tasting too sweet. Before we go on to my number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. First, we have these honey butter mixed nuts. This bag includes walnuts, peanuts, and macadamia nuts, and it's one of the most delicious mixed nut bags that I've ever had. Each nut is coated with a savory and creamy honey butter powder, while the nut is covered with a sweet sugary glaze. These are super addictive. Next, we have these shrimp crackers. These are like the OG Korean snacks and they taste amazing. The moment you open the bag, you get an intense aromatic smell of the ocean breeze. This cracker is crunchy, savory, sweet, nutty, and filled with delicious shrimp flavors. They're highly addictive and I definitely recommend picking this up. And lastly, we have this whale snack. These crispy hollow crackers are unbelievably delicious. They're savory, salty, and full of mouth-watering barbecue flavors that have you eating them again and again. They also have, in my opinion, the most satisfying crunchy texture. This is a top-tier snack and I highly recommend it. And finally, my number 1 pick of the best Korean snack is turtle chips. In my life of eating Korean snacks, I've never had something so delicious and addictive as these chips. I highly recommend both the corn and churros flavor. The corn one tastes salty, slightly sour, and sweet. I also love the texture because it's like biting into 4 chips at once. The churros are also really delicious and I like them a little bit more than the corn turtle chips. They taste like chocolate dipped churros and their flavors get much deeper and creamier the more you bite into it. These are god tier snacks and I highly recommend them both. And that's my list. Let me know what your favorite Korean snacks are.